Well, I can ask you why progressive rock,
Oh,
because
God.
that was your choice.
Yeah, I'm not sure it really is progressive rock.
No,
It,
but you were inspired by progressive rock.
yeah, and it's also, I would say it's prog pop. So, progressive rock. I was definitely inspired by prog rock. Prog rock and early jazz fusion were my first influences outside of rock and roll. And so it was pretty easy. I mean, Crimson and Gentle Giant, Genesis. And I've always written that kind of stuff. I've always aspired to write fusion, but I can't really do it because the levels are insane. And maybe even prog rock's insane levels. But they're attainable, so I have a better shot at doing them. And now that I'm an old ancient person, I decided that since I hate most music today, I would go back to things that I really care about again. Some of these songs are really old. One of them is from my childhood almost. The Seeker. That's very old, and it was also the only song in the album that was written with lyrics in mind initially. So they were very different lyrics. They didn't sound anything like they did now. So
this album is something you've been working on your whole life.
most of it's really the last time I wrote, which is about 10 years ago. So it's not really. Mostly in between all that stuff, I was on the road playing bands. So, and then life got in the way. So that's, I guess, prog pop. I don't know. I hate terms. It is what it is. So 1, 2, 3.
Ignorance is strength. No difference Berlin or Texas. When a vector hits an x-axis, straight line should not have to bend to survive. A new geometry of life. Earth spins on knowable laws. Great minds find logical flaws. When if it's flat or it's round, there is strife. What's this geometry of life? You think you know what's true, but we've got news for you. Welcome home to your reality, rebuilt with new geometry.
Was it weird or unusual because you write your own music and your own lyrics and your own songs? Was it weird to write for somebody else's music?
No, it was a really interesting challenge, and I think it's made my own writing better too.
Musically or lyrically?
Kind of both. So so my process working with you was, receive the instrumental track and then do kind of a bunch of ideating, usually starting with melody, like where could a vocal melody kind of fit into this?
Yeah.
And then I would try to come up with some phrases that seemed to work with the vocal melody,
and then kind of build it from there.
What about rhythmically?
So, yeah, so rhythmically, it makes it a lot more interesting than where I would like. So if I start writing my own song, where I originally started writing songs was I would just come up with some melody that I thought was interesting, and then I would see if I could figure out what chords went with it. And there, it didn't go through as many steps of trying different things out. And
Well, you had complete control.
yeah,
Was
but
that weird?
that's not always a good thing, because
No.
so like you had already brought a whole bunch of musical ideas to the table, and then I'm just like adding a few more musical ideas in there and trying them out to see what works.
Yeah.
Whereas like if I'm starting my own song, then I have to generate all of the musical ideas unless I ask somebody else to collaborate with me, and so there's actually a lot more work.
It is
So
a lot more work.
it just taught so it just taught me that I need to go through all of that process of multiple steps. Okay, so now let's try adding in some other ideas and add some more ideas
Right.
onto that, and yeah.
3, 4.
Ooh, girl, you've been unfriended. You didn't guess they'd be offended. Too late, you can't unsend it. They've cancelled your upended. LOL, but no one's laughing. Who did they tell that this shit happened? Dislikes like a rain descended. How could they so heavy-handedly? Don't look at the phone. Oh, why give your heart to a world made of stone? Try not to care what flies through the air. The lights won't leave you alone. Flash forward, today she learned she's not the first these people burned. Scroll back, their pages turn. Evil posts, rave returns. Two can play at whisper war. Day by day she'll settle the score. All to count, suspicion skirted. Still in all, her dreams perverted. Leah, don't look at the phone. Oh, why give your heart to a world made of stone? Try not to care what flies through the air. The lights won't leave you alone.
The album's political, but it isn't political. It's more a statement of our world and what we're what we're doing to and about it. Did you? From the very beginning, that was my premise when we decided to start doing that. How you took it and what the directions you took it in were completely up to you.
I mean, we know each other way too well, and
Yeah, that's a
you
problem.
want yeah. I mean, you said that you wanted something that would kind of make a statement,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
I was aiming for that. But I mean, we know each other pretty well, and,
Yeah.
and I think we're concerned about the future for some of the same reasons, and so I was really aiming for that. So I mean, yeah, there's there's a couple of references to former President Trump in there, but it's not an album about him. It's an
Yeah.
album, it's an album about people looking for strong leaders when
Yeah.
they are afraid because
Right.
the world is changing rapidly, crazily.
Yeah.
It feels like it's spinning out of control in so many ways,
Yeah.
and so some of the themes in the album are sort of about the spinning out of control part, about big data and social media, and how that sort of creates this tipping point, and then climate change, and that creates other tipping points, and and how do people then react to all of those pressures and the economic pressures that are created by all of those, and and so it's really easy for people to panic and want to be protective, and so that was what I wrote Starstruck about.
Yeah.
By the way, I love your music for Starstruck. It's just beautiful. I love that one. So Starstruck is about that idea of, I really want a hero to save us from this mess that we're in. But but we all know what happens when you give too much power to somebody, absolute power and all of that. And so that's what happens later in the album.
If sin is in the eye of the beholder, between the truth and light, what's left over? The world's on fire and we're getting colder. What's gonna be alright? And what's left over? What's left over? Fire in the well of your mind, you can tell until you dip it and the bucket's dry. Take a shiver to the levee, but there's nothing to find. Burn alone, burn together when the temperature climbs. Black ships on the rise and getting bolder. Between the truth and lies, what's left over? We think we're getting wise, we're getting older and slipping from the prize. What's left over? What's left over? What's left over?
You wrote these songs as instrumentals. Then you and Beth, who is a lyricist, decided to experiment with lyrics. Can you explain how you two decided where lyrics would fit and be additive?
Well, on a bunch of them, you had an idea about where the lyrics should go.
Yeah.
And you asked me to kind of work on those spots.
Yeah, but without...
But then there were others.
Just direction. It was really, I didn't... The ideas... The album as a concept was definitely something that had been driving me nuts. But lyrically, song for song, was masterfully done by you.
Yeah. I was actually, I was surprised. I thought that you were going to come back with more adjustments that you wanted me to make.
Well, in all fairness, as you know, I didn't really pay that much attention to the lyrics until... this is what I'll be fair. This is what, as the process continued, everything fit. All your lyrics fit, the notes fit. I mean, there were some notes that maybe I wouldn't like or something like that, or something that was out of pitch or whatever, as same with me. But I think that nothing was, to my ears, wrong about what you put where. Once I read the lyrics, it was like, for sure, It was not, it was nice that everything fit, but it was even nicer that they all said things that were really great. So I was really pleased with that. It was really cool. So thanks, Liz.
Right. Thanks, Marty.
Okay. So,
no, really, it was a really wonderful experience.
Yeah, it was
and
fun.
thank you for trusting me with your creations.
Well, now you're gonna make me verklempt. But anyway, so the album's gonna be. We'll have links. It's down there, I think.
Links down here.
Links. Yeah, that's what everyone does. Links down here. Links down there. and where you can get the albums and where you can look at the website and stuff like that. And you should go buy it because we need, I don't know, $1.50 or so. We should at least have enough to buy a dinner.
Oh, that would be nice.
Wouldn't that be? We have, how many thousands of albums?
Might have to
do
be
you
lunch.
it might have to be like a snack at a snack bar or something.
Yeah, I can't even get a coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah.